Hey guys, we are back. Okay, so we just spoke about the 7 things that people kind of gain or make people have confidence, right? Or like different types of fallacies that potentially give people the sense of confidence in someone, right? And as we went through it, we also said why those 7 different people, or those 7 different traits that we look for in terms of to have confidence in someone, all are abundant in God and highly unlikely or non or almost impossible to find in people. Definitely all the combination of all of them, but also individual traits are pretty hard to find. I'd say in full in a person. So, for example, we started speaking about, right, the fact that a person, firstly, you have to have a trust that the person has goodwill for you, and that that person really cares for you, right? And he also knows what's good for you. And so we're just talking about how really, you know, different people might behave differently in different circumstances, or their interests might vary, or their reliance, they might not have full control over things. So we really went through all these 7. Really recommend listening um, um, into the other sessions we did together, and kind of digging in. Um, and now we're going to read about. We're actually entering the 3rd chapter, but right before the Kasherit Berzan Adam, when a person recognizes that the only thing he can actually have actual confidence in is God, אז כאשר יתברר זה לאדם ותתחזק הכרתו באמיתת חסד הבורא, and also a person recognizes how gracious God is to us, יבטח בו וימסר אליו. He'll have full confidence in God and will devote himself to God, ויניח הנהגתו עליו, and will allow God to actually guide him. ולא יחשדהו בדינו ולא יתקצף על בחירתו לו. And he won't be concerned with what decisions God makes for him, for that person, and won't get upset at God for whatever choices God makes in terms of leading someone's life, right? כמו שאמר דוד עליו השלום, כוס ישועות עשו בשם השם יקרא, ואמר צר ויגון נמצא בשם השם יקרא. So David writes that he quotes something from Psalms that King David says, but the concept is recognizing that these different virtues and these different elements of confidence are really reflected best in our relationship with God. And if that's really true, and we can have confidence in God, we have to recognize, that we should have confidence, right? Not only on a lowly level in terms of what am I going to be doing today, but also, like a spiritual, help me through a difficult crisis. It's also about even the intrinsics of every single day, even the smallest things, right? And the most auspicious stuff that happen to us in life, having a recognition that there's a reason for why things are happening, and the reason behind it has to be a good reason, because whatever it is that's happening to us is directed to us by God. Doesn't mean that we don't have to do a big effort. We have to do the biggest effort we can to earn and own up to what we are doing in our lives, but recognizing that all those things that aren't in our control, truth is really not much is in our control, but all those different elements that we can't really control beyond the effort that we could do, and is something that God is controlling. We have to have confidence in God. And so so the 3rd chapter kind of understand the we're going to be talking about 5 different aspects here. We're now talking about how to attain the confidence in God. Right now, till now in the book, we're just right. This book is the Gates of Confidence. It's part of a greater book called The Duties of the Heart, right? Written by Rabbi Ibn Pekud 1,000 years ago. And it is talking about having full confidence in God. And here we are, we are going to, till now in this book, we spoke about the different fallacies that we might have in believing in our own confidence and believing in the wealth that we attained, or maybe our family attained wealth, right? And then we also spoke about the alchemist and what is the alchemist, and also how there's certain advantages to people who believe in God. There's 10 advantages over the alchemist, and we spoke about why we trust people, and now we are talking about how to attain trust, or the virtue of trust. אחד מן שיאמין ויתברר אצלו התקבצות השבעה עניינים באלוקים, אשר בהתקבצם במי שבוטחים בו ייתכן לפתוח עליו, וכבר זכרתים ויראותים עליהם במה שיזדמן מן הכתוב והם. Okay, so one of the most important things about attaining confidence is we just spoke about the 7 different things that build confidence and trust in people, right? That's why we give people trust. So we kind of reflect and really kind of recognize, God is really there for us. He really actually really cares about us, and kind of thinking about that, right? On the other hand, it is that we know that if there is anything, God won't forget us, right? We're on top of His agenda, and that He will take action if need be, right? That God's virtue in terms of His ability to provide is boundless. He isn't limited or confined or reliant on any other source. And the fourth thing is that given any scenario, God always knows what's in our hearts or what we actually need. He always has the best of the best interest for us. And the fifth thing is God knows us from when we're babies, right? Since we're in the womb, right? Maybe even before that, He knows our soul and our purpose in this life. And so He knows actually what to do for us or how to help us, right? And 6 is that there isn't any other reliance, any other dependency besides on God. He's the full authority, and He can make the decisions solely. And the 7th is that He's not only doing things because He needs to and obligated to, but because He's generous and genuine, right? And so now we have to continuously reflect upon those different aspects. הראשון שהבורא יתברך מרחם על האדם יותר מכל מרחם וכל הרחמים וכן אשר מזולתו עליו כולם הם מרחמי האל וחמלתו, כמו שאמר הכתוב, ונתן לך רחמים וחמך וירבך. So we actually see, again, remembering that the person actually, that God actually is merciful and cares and is taking care of us is critical. The second aspect of it is because we're going into, just like I summarized the last 7, now we're going a little bit deeper into each one of them, how a person should reflect and really kind of recognize God's role in his life, and why he could rely and be confident in God, right? And the second thing is so God knows exactly what benefits a person, והדין נותן זה מפני שהוא אחד ממעשיו, ואין מי שיודע באופני תקנות העשוי והפסדו. And why? Because he knows that He created us, so He knows exactly what we need and what benefits us and what doesn't. ומי שיודע באופני תקנות העשוי והפסדו, He also knows what things will do good for us or bad, right? ואין מי שיודע באופני תקנות העשוי והפסדו, ופעמים משיגים אותו באופני מחלתו וארוחתו, and also what gives us health is unhealthy יותר מעושהו, even more than the creations themselves, so us as people, right? ומשיגים אותו אוקיי, ואם יהיה זה נמצא בעושים מבני אדם אשר לא יחדשו במעשים זולתי צורה מקרית. So ואם יהיה זה נמצא בעושים מבני אדם אשר לא יחדשו במעשים זולתי צורה מקרית, אך השורש והצורה העצמית אין להם בהם שום תחבולה ולא יכול לחדשם, ואשר חידש שורש האדם וצורתו ותכונתו וסדר חיבורו, הוא החכם יודע בענייני תועלותיו ונזקיו, והטוב לו בעולמו ואחריתו בלי ספק, כמו שכתוב, אני השם אלוקיכם ללמדך להועיל מדריכך בדרך תלך, ואמר כי את אשר יאהב השם יוכיח וכאב את בן ירצה. So basically he's saying that even if you have a doctor in this world, right, he's able to take care of symptoms, but not the source of the problem. And that is something that God knows what the root source of every issue is, and therefore he could actually take care and protect our actual interests. That is it for today.